everybody, welcome back to the Business Hustle. This is a little special event that we're going to do. It's a Friday afternoon. I got some of the guys up. We've got PJ, we've got Dave, and we've got Jack, and we're going to go through a couple of videos. So the idea of the show here today is that I've got 3 videos, PJ's got some stuff, Dave's got some stuff, and Jack's got some stuff. I keep looking at you thinking, who is he called? And we're going to play them, and nobody knows what each other has brought to the table today, so I'm going to play a couple of videos and see what people think of and get an honest reaction. So everybody likes to see an honest reaction. That's what we're going to do today. So we're going to start off with our first little clip. So guys, gather around. Okay. See what you think of this video. See what you think of it as an actual ad. So what I've done is I've found 3 ads that I really like. I thought these are fun, and see what you think.
Hiya. We're here because your son just looked us up online. You know, to watch us. We usually perform for adults, but your son's just a kid. He might not know how relationships actually work. Hey, Maddie.
Stay calm. You know what to do here.
All right, Maddie. It sounds like it's time to have a talk about the difference between what you see online and real-life relationships.
Many young Kiwis.
Very good. Question, do you think you can get away with that here in the UK if you were to use it?
No.
And what is it with, these are New Zealand folk, and what is it with their laws that they're able to get away with stuff like that we can?
We're very conservative, so yeah, it's just not happening.
That's what Ofcom's for.
Yeah. But isn't the ad actually really class for actually putting the point home? That for me, actually, I think whenever you're a bit more tongue-in-cheek and you bring comedy into an ad, it absolutely works.
Yeah,
whereas,
absolutely.
I'm sure, like, it works here, like, you know, it's, you know, we're talking about it right now. So
yeah,
no, that was brilliant. Like.
But really well done. But
yeah.
In some cases, like a lot of that stuff's edgy, and in a lot of the cases, you would wonder even what time they play that. Do they play it like after the watershed, if there is a watershed in New Zealand? But it's class ad, isn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Like,
okay,
so we'll watch it again.
No, you just can't watch us in private either. Okay, so we're going to go into the next one. Tell me what you think actually of this ad, and it's really well done. It's probably one of the best produced ads, and you'll tell why instantly.
Felix?
Name?
Felix.
Date of birth?
November 5th, 1986.
Tracking current location.
Can I have a taste of your ice cream?
Here's what you spent last month.
Crumbs from your table. Can I interfere in your crisis? Can you hear those people behind?
I'll pause it here, right? So, what do you think it is, Jack? Advertising?
Stalkers.
Stalkers?
Everyone's his fault.
They're advertising stalkers. Come buy a stalker.
Be a stalker.
It definitely has to be like the privacy setting on your phone, I'd say.
Very good, Dave.
Yeah, I thought the same. Like your personal details getting leaked. Yeah.
And what do you think of like the state of the ad so far?
I like it.
Yeah, it's very quick to the
Nice, like
point,
that.
but it's not giving away too much at the same time.
Okay, let's push it on, see where we'll go to. So, oh, wait a minute, I've paused in the wrong bit. Hope you're getting a load of value from what we're speaking about today in this episode, and if you want to subscribe, we would absolutely appreciate it. Just drop a little link down in below, and we would love to hear from you. We would love to find out your comments on some of these little podcasts that we're doing, but we hope that you're getting good content from them.
Yeah, and Christopher and I's commitment to you guys is to put out high-end quality content on a weekly basis that helps you scale yourself, that scales your business.
It's cracker, isn't it?
That's very good.
Yeah.
Really good with it.
Yeah, I think they've picked the best music, and like even like the way they've aimed it at a certain demographic as well. That they've picked like the age.
Smartphone users. Yeah, absolutely.
Apple have been like advertising it so much recently, like with the passcodes and everything, and just like they seem to be like on point at the minute, like with their advertising.
Yeah, I love it. Like in like the last maybe 10 to 15 years, we had like free reign when it came to GDPR. Most of us didn't even know what GDPR was years ago. And nowadays, so many people are getting a lot more savvy with their contact details, and you notice now that there's like the likes of Google and Yahoo and MSN and all those different companies that are now making sure that any emails that they're putting out are guarding you as a person, which is class. But I think that adds class. Actually, whenever I watched it, I just thought Apple's just so dialed in.
That's great, and I do use the features. I use the don't let them track, and the unsubscribe from list, which is very clever because that's an Apple.
I actually,
from a marketer perspective, though, that
It's made life hard for us.
it's harder for us as marketing agency, but at the same time, it gives people more control of their privacy.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
You have to fight and battle that, but there is tools and solutions that always work around.
Yeah. Didn't Apple do away with the whole Pixel thing too, didn't it? From there.
Yeah, you can't track. So like Facebook had an absolute nightmare whenever they released that they said basically from here on out we're stopping people from actually using the tracking pixel. But there is, as Alex says,
also the reason why.
Yeah, it is. And
Zuckerberg court case.
we have a lot to answer for as marketing agencies, is that we've actually like ruined the landscape. But that's where building relationships and nurturing relationships matter more than ever nowadays. So
100%, especially like, you know, it's what you do with it, you know what I mean? And that was the whole reason they've brought this in, just because like
Being
people were
abused.
taking advantage, abusing the power, like, so that's where you're right, relationships come in.
okay, so this is my last little ad I want to throw up. And this one
Felix?
is actually very controversial. I know the first one was pretty controversial. This last one was really harmful for the actual advertising company that ran it, and they had this whole kind of boycotting against their company after. Then there's been a couple of those over the years. Like the other big one that comes to mind for me is for the H&M ad. Do you remember that one? They ran. And it was a very racist ad, but like it came up, and we'll maybe play that maybe next week or the next time we get around to doing these. But so many companies sometimes they just miss these big moments and they just gloss over them. And you can imagine they're sitting down maybe like a marketing suite somewhere, and they're all chatting, and they come up with this blinder of an idea, but they're blinded by the idea as well, and it can be troublesome. So we're going to play this and see what you think, and then see if you can check it. I'm going to put it on you for you to watch it and see where would you get offended if you were watching this. It was played at the Super Bowl in 2017, I think. Everybody loves a dog. Sad puppy.
Look, it's Buddy! I'm so glad you made it home. Because I just sold you on this website I built with GoDaddy. Ship 'em out!
Get your domain and website all in one place at GoDaddy.com.
That's so savage. So for me, like, that's a type of ad I love, because it's like it's really tongue in cheek and it's fun, but so many people get offended, especially when it comes to animals, that they get really, really offended. And what happened with this ad is that they played at the Super Bowl and everyone was uproared and outraged with it, and they started to boycott GoDaddy. And I think GoDaddy's had a couple of hits over the years. They've done a couple of really kind of like ads that have backfired on them, but in this case, this one absolutely murdered.
But at the same time, like it's probably worked out really well for him too. I mean, like, it's funny.
Well, this week JD Sports had a blunder where they did a campaign with, it was stunt bike users, but it was like, I don't want to say kids, but it made like motorbiking and quads and stuff around London look really irresponsible, and they were doing wheelies and pop and stuff, and it was obviously aimed at youth culture, but they've had a whole backlash from that. So yeah, similar problem for them.
Sometimes you can come up with an idea and you think that it's an absolute game-changing idea and it's going to get so many eyes on your business, and then all of a sudden something comes out that would work. Like you've maybe forgot about this one kind of like stumbling block, and it can tumble down a whole ad campaign. So it's, for me, it's why it's important to play test stuff against like panels of people and make sure, especially if you're going to put something on TV, make sure that it's appealing.
Test it first.
Test.
Research. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But like the ad was like perfect, to be fair. Like,
wasn't it?
I mean, and it's given the point that, like, you know, the ad works, or the website works.
Okay,
I liked it.
Dave, I'm handing the reins over to you. You've got some things that you've picked up.
I think I've missed the mark on this one, because I was told to do best and worst design, so mine aren't necessarily funny, but we'll see your reactions. I know I was too sensible. So mine is more of a rant than anything. Okay. So I was asked to look at the best and worst design that you think, a couple of examples. So I found one example that I think encompasses both things. So here we go.
It's the best and the worst.
Best and the worst. The Apple Magic Mouse. So for me, it's slick. It's minimal.
Yeah.
It's intuitive. It looks lovely. I love it. But
what I don't understand is why they went to this design, because before they went to the USB, or as an Apple cable, an old Apple cable, it was battery powered.
Yeah, so this is the thing. So this is where the best of design, it looks beautiful. It's typically Apple. It's lovely. Then the worst of design, flip it over. You have no more battery, so if it dies, worst thing happens. Friday afternoon, Chris says, we've got a deadline, Dave, you need to get this out. My mouse invariably decides to die, and it's lying on the desk with the thing sticking out of it, and I'm literally dying.
Yeah.
So
we'll do it after lunch.
It got that bad that PJ actually bought me 2 spare mice. So if it ever happens, happens again, that I have something. So for me, this is my first example of fantastic design and a total flaw.
And it's lovely in the hand too, like.
Yeah, I actually think that they nailed it. Like the feel of it in your hand, the way it scrolls, all those kind of things that they made with that mouse is probably second to none next day.
It's fantastic. It's the perfect blend between a mouse and a trackpad. It's great.
It's almost just like an afterthought that they just decided they would put this thing in at the end. Although for me, like if I was sitting in Apple and they thought, right, okay, at the end of the day, you're done with your work, you plug it in.
Yeah.
But the thing is, not every human is built like an Apple person.
But sure, they could have made that wireless to a certain degree, where you just set on a wireless charger.
Well, they probably did.
Apple said it's your fault.
It is. It is.
But does anybody remember the iPhone 4 when it first came out? The big problem with it. So they brought it out, and the antennas around the edge of it, because of their aesthetics, they wanted to make it that it was like as minimal as they could make it. And then whenever people were holding it up, their actual hand was stopping the signal.
Covering the antenna.
And the people who didn't use the phone says they were blocking the antennas.
So all the lefties had to start this. But then what they done was, so Steve Jobs was the master at spin, and he was able then to come up and say, intentionally we made it like this, and because we want to then sell you these little bumpers. And they'd invented this kind of like clip-on system that was able to put a clear bumper on it. And then they sold all these bumpers on top of it, almost like it was an intentional mistake that they wanted you to then buy these guards for your phone, which aesthetically ruined everything that they went to do. But just the Apple have had a couple of real stingers over the years. Actually, whenever it's a company, you think things through to every detail, and they don't.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's my first. Best and worst, and I thought I found that in one product.
Well, for me, it's kind of a good thing, because you can see that no matter what, even whenever you do something that's absolutely beautiful and absolutely fantastic, that there's always problems. Even with the biggest companies in the world, like Apple, mistakes happen, and you can always refine them and always fix them. So obviously with that one, the only way to fix it is to charge
wireless is coming next. Yeah.
Okay, so Dave.
Okay, so that was the first one.
Yeah, that's good.
Second one is... Oh, where'd the folder go?
It's on desktop there.
Video, sorry.
Yeah.
That's that one. Okay. So, this one is the Every brand. It's supposed to be a GIF that's going to play. So, as you can see...
What company's Every?
So, Every was... I'm going to probably butcher the name, but it was either Hermes or Hermes. Hermes or Hermes. So one of the two. So it was a delivery company, and it rebranded to Every. So Monotype and Super Union collaborated to come up with this logo. It's a logo type. There's actually 194,000 variations of this logo. So it's adaptive logo types powered by a variable font. So...
Well, that's impressive, actually.
Yeah.
Well, explain that for the simple-minded ones, Dave.
So it changes. So it changes every time.
Every time. So it changes. So across their whole brand. So when you see whether it's the trucks or the receipts, it's spitting out different variations of this brand.
Because funny, whenever I just first seen that there, I thought I seen Every's logo different than that the last time, and that's because I've seen it different than that the last time.
Yeah. So there's 194,000 variations, as you can see.
I actually really like the ingenuity of it and the technical aspect of what they've done, but I can see where there's a problem.
So the problem, they have a document that tells you they get best practice, and they
don't use it.
So they show you versions that are too dull, perfect versions and versions that are too expressive. But that's all subjective. So what you might think is too dull, I might think's perfect. What Jax thinks too expressive, I might think is boring. So yeah, to me, when I originally saw it, and it was probably because I had a negative experience with the delivery company itself, not so much the logo, because I just hated using them.
That's why they're rebranded.
Yeah, so
To make you forget.
But
Every time you forget.
yeah, but to me, the original idea seemed like something like a GCSE student would come up with. You know, when you're asked to design something and you use 9 million different fonts.
Don't again. Well, at least the colours don't change every time, or do
Absolutely.
they?
So
You just click the font, you just keep hitting down until you find the right
yeah,
one.
that's it. So I've probably made logos like this in the past, when in my younger days, and I thought it was being really cool. But they've taken it.
So if we go onto their website right now, will that change to something different every time? I kind of like that, and I think it's pretty cool. What do they do about all their branding off like the trucks?
This is the thing. So you've seen this probably 1,000 different ways. Mm-hmm. You've just seen it that way.
Yeah, and you'll never remember it.
That's the point. So to me, it's kind of a pointless exercise.
Well, that's exactly what happened to me. The second you opened that up, I thought that's not the every brand I'm thinking of, because I remember seeing it with all the different kind of typefaces and thinking, oh, that's a horrible looking logo.
Yeah.
But then I thought it's inventive and I like it.
Yeah.
But now that I know that it changes every time, it's even harder to kind of like.
But to be fair, they've kept the colours. Do you know, that's the one thing you can say that they've kept their like brown guidelines.
But like in logo design, so what it'll all come back to is like, so can someone remember your brand? Everyone can draw. If you ask someone, now they'll not get it exact every time, but draw the McDonald's logo. They know the golden arches.
Yeah.
Draw the Nike swoosh. They'll do a tick. It may not be, but that
Every logo.
You'll.
Well, actually, I just seen an example of that with it. It looked like the eye was a guy holding his
like crossover.
Yeah, which looked really strange as well. So there's a lot of issues there with it.
So to me, it's clever. Part of me likes it, but the other part of me think it's kind of a vanity project. It doesn't. It doesn't really
cost some money on like branding, like getting different stickers. You know, find out you've probably been in this position yourself, where you're like getting your own like stuff branded up, and it's like a £40 or £50 setup fee. It's just like it's probably going to cost
every
you like
single time
£8,000 just to get different stickers.
Policing it would be difficult to me.
What do you think of it, Jack? Would you wear like a brand with something like that on if it was all like kind of?
Jack does.
So the one thing I would say that they've stuck to, if they use this as their primary colour, is that blue colour, and blue's the colour of dependability and safety and guaranteed, and so they've chose the right colour for at least they're branded. They're going to be dependable. They're going to turn up.
Yeah,
and they're supporting like kind of like every style and every culture and every outcome, whether your parcel arrives on time or not. So I like it, and I like the technical aspect of it, but I get where not having the same thing to remember every time is going to be an issue. So there's an issue.
Rant over.
Okay, so PJ,
me,
enlighten us. Since you're touching the laptop,
let's get the Jacks up here. Well, I actually done like a lot of different ones because I didn't know what you two. What have you got? Number 1 and 2.
What have we got Alex to work with?
What have you got to work with, Alex? Sir? Cadbury's Gorilla. Cadbury's Gorilla. Yeah. No, we'll start off with that there. So, Cadbury's Gorilla. I would like. So this is best. This is best. This is best. And for a reason, it's the best.
Henry would love this.
I know.
Oh yeah, I've seen this actually. It's a great ad.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, like by far, and there's no.
But why?
Memorable, because actually I remember this.
Why a gorilla playing the drums?
What a song! What a track!
I know, Phil Collins, and like when you see the wide shot, we're probably going to get done for copyright too. So like, it's just like you look at the production value. There's nothing. Do you know what I mean?
This isn't so much.
But yet it's the most iconic ad that like Cadbury's ever made, bar maybe the eyebrows. Do you know what I mean? Like, look at it.
It just makes you want chocolate.
You know what I mean? Like, it's bar of Cadbury's. Bar of Cadbury's holding up. Yep, and that's it. A gorilla playing the drums. Phil Collins in the air.
There's nothing to do with chocolate there.
There you go. The M card.
A lot of ads like that you're seeing can be concepts that companies have come up with the idea and they've went, right, we can make all this in the studio, develop it, and then they pitch it. But what I mean is that it could be us sitting here right now, we pitch a crazy idea with
Croc Martens.
Croc Martens.
You never seen coming.
So say we had something like that. You then go to that company and you pitch it and say, look, I've got a really good viral idea. Here's the outcomes. Here's the deliveries of it. And you pitch it to them. And then you can see very clearly at the end of that they've just put in the brand at the end of it.
Yeah.
And now they've got a purple wall in the background.
Yeah,
and maybe
I noticed that, but literally, out of all that there, and it's like...
But how do you even pitch it?
And that's what I'm saying. And it's just like, to me, it's like, out of all the ads that you probably see over the years and go, flip, that's a cracker, it's just like, everyone remembers that. And you know, here that's like Cadbury's ad because the gorilla's playing the drums on it, but you're just like, but it has nothing to do with chocolate.
So this is one of my big takeaways, and if anybody's watching these right now and you've seen some of the videos we've been watching, if you think right now, what's the most memorable ads that you have ever seen? And I would near enough put cash down, cold hard cash, that the ads that you've seen have been on TV and they haven't been on social media, they haven't been on an email marketing campaign, and the best place for to watch an ad is TV. For me, it's the gold standard. It's the places you remember the biggest, most memorable ads.
Oh, they exist.
Croc Martens.
It's on screen.
There you go. That's genius.
So someone's AI that.
Yeah, so for me, like if you're ever going to make an ad that's memorable and it's going to stand test time, TV is the only place to be delivering that on, and that's why we absolutely love Sky TV and why we use Sky TV so much here, is because it's the place that gives you credibility, memorability, and it stands out.
Yeah, and everyone has it. Do you know, like, not everyone might have social media, so it's just like everyone's going to.
But it's why it also costs millions to advertise during the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and everyone strives for the best.
It's the gold standard.
The Budweiser ads, you know, all those. The biggest audience.
Now, Jack, have you seen that ad for on TV?
I've seen it on TikTok.
You've seen on
Jack's too young to see it on TV.
That's how young that is. He's showing his age now, like, you know me. They're one of the best adverts ever on TV.
So they must have repurposed that, because that ad was done maybe 6 years ago?
Longer.
Way longer. Way longer?
It was the
15 years ago.
Oh, really?
Do you remember the eyebrows in the lift? Wasn't it in the lift?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it started with a watch. The wee... what do you call the wee old watches? Like
Seikos?
Oh, like Tachimi or something? Or
Tamagotchi.
Tamagotchi or something like that there.
It wasn't a watch. You're showing your age.
Back then it was, they played on the funniness. Now Cadbury's do like, there's a glass and a half at everyone, and they tug on people's heartstrings. The kid walks into the shop and I want to buy a bar of chocolate for my mummy.
And he puts
She's
it
she's giving over dinner twice and all, and the guy just goes,
Do you know what blows me?
Change.
Do you know what blows me away about those glass and a half? That actual strapline. What constitutes a glass and a half?
Yeah.
And for me, whenever we're putting stuff on TV, and I would actually love to know from Clearcast, so whenever we put anything on TV, we have to prove this physically is what's inside the glass, or this is what the extent of the ad, whatever it's going to be. We actually have to prove and substantiate this is what this means. And they're able to say a glass and a half, which technically it could be anything.
Anything from a shot glass to a pint glass.
Yeah. And how do they actually get away with run those ads on TV? It really interests me.
What's next, Alex?
I look it up there. What does Cadbury's? Does that mean it's a reference to show how much milk is in their chocolate bar?
Yeah, I know.
Yes, but
that. Yeah, but
I didn't know that.
I mean,
but
what you just think it was drink?
But how many ounces? Like what? Is it a 4-ounce glass? Is it a pint glass? Is it a shot glass?
You don't need to go in that much detail to it.
Yeah, but
that's the thing.
How does that constitute what's inside the bar of chocolate? If it's a glass and a half.
Stuff for TV, it has to. You need to make sure that it's 100%.
I won't get that bar later on, and I said, "I have a pint and a half." Very large.
But if you look at that, you'll know it's a pint glass or like a.
That's what we're getting at.
Is it a pint?
Is it a pint?
No, it's not.
I know it wouldn't be. I would imagine it's a tumbler.
It's on the
tumbler,
inside.
yeah.
You see it coming out, and then you see the wee, the wee weird.
Maybe that gets them out of it. Maybe they show the glass and a half going in.
That's one to Google later.
What's next?
We'll come back on that.
What's the
Party scene, he said.
Party scene in the office here.
The party scene in the office.
Well, the upstairs outside bit. I don't know what's going on.
Is it number one worst?
No.
Or not. Party sir?
No.
No. Top. On a rooftop? There better be something here. Hold on.
No.
Edit. No. Oh yes.
There we go.
Okay. So this is like this is the other ad that I thought was like shot wise. This was like one of the best ads I ever seen. I said you want to see like examples of like the best ads ever made. Johnny Walker, and I'll even turn.
The first step of a new year. We'll all take one. But where will a step take you?
Johnny Walker have done great ads
They have.
for Rock Second Year. Yeah.
And how far? A step can be a difficult thing. It requires courage and spirit. But if you follow it, imagine the places you'll go. The new year begins with the next step. How far will it take you?
Yeah,
that's 9 years ago. Like,
I love how it was shot. I don't understand it
What's it about?
at all,
Yeah.
but I loved watching it.
hashtag keep warming.
Is it about shoes?
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder you.
I want
Johnny Walker, you've never heard Johnny Walker?
He's a UFC fighter, I know that.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. No, Johnny Walker's a whiskey. It's a really famous
Yeah, that
whiskey.
was about the. That was
I don't drink either,
fighter, you know, how he walks in the ring. You know.
Showing your innocence, Jack.
Jack Daniels is a bit of a magician.
Yeah, so
Brilliant.
I've seen a lot of ads done like that. There's a class one like that, which is all shot in a studio and it's all done real time. So they move the walls and they change the lighting, and it reminds me of that. Although you can see that it's added with extra green screen stuff for the fireworks.
But
and
actually,
things like that.
the only thing in it that's actually like basically green screened is the end.
The
It's
fireworks. It's fantastic.
If you, yeah, no, he was on cable.
Sorry.
It looked like it. Yeah,
that wasn't green screened.
Yeah.
The whole thing
Was it one shot?
And it was all done on a big like air hanger, and all those like sets were built up. So it was all one take.
Yeah.
I take it he was spinning around in the black then to rotate back round into the end scene then so that they could bring him back in.
It was just one big long hanger, and it was all like so basically it was
I
all
believe
dark lit.
he went back to the same start sequence.
Yeah, but that was another shot at the end.
They
Just
probably
made it again.
ran behind him.
No, yeah. So basically, the whole thing's just one take. So he's already like through. I think there's every moment through where he's like, you don't save it, that he's like cabled on for like the flying suit, and then he's
It's classic. It's really
But
good.
they obviously have something that's like CGI'd out. But no, just regarding like
So well
good
done.
ad and just well executed. And, yeah,
No,
they
actually.
do the best adverts. And
So my case in point again is that you watch that on TV, more than likely, and it hammers home that TV is probably one of the best places to make your ad memorable and make an impression on people.
yeah, no, definitely.
I have seen some class like TikTok ads and YouTube videos and things like that, but the ones that really stand out to me have always been TV ads.
Yeah.
Right,
Yep,
Jack,
they're
take
good.
the reins.
We'll probably not know these ones.
No, you'll know Snoop. So one of them, Snoop Dogg, and he put on his Instagram, he's like,
Stop smoking.
I'm stopping smoking. It's split. Oh,
I have an announcement. I'm giving up smoke. I know what you're thinking. Snoop, smoke is kind of your whole thing. But I'm done with it. Done with the coughing and my clothes smelling all sticky icky. I'm going smokeless. Solo Stove Fix Fire. They took out the smoke. Clever.
Yeah.
so the amount of thanks he got for that, like,
That's a great ad. Very good.
so the amount of like he got on Instagram, he's just like not smoking anymore. Like, please leave me be. And a week later, he took that out. And I remember watching it, being like, what is he doing? And then that came up. And
But
it's
so
quite-
clever that they started a week before planting the seed in
Yeah.
everyone's mind. Yeah.
Like, you're not
Which then
millions.
would draw everyone to his TikTok to see what he's saying next.
I think as soon as he posts that, got like 50 million or something.
As a person, like Snoop Dogg is very like that. Like he's always into this like brand and stuff. Like when like what was it, a couple of years ago he started like streaming, you know, like Call of Duty and stuff, and then he became a part of FaZe Clan on YouTube. And it's just like this guy's what 60 something. It's just like, and he's like live streaming. But again, he's just kind of like following, you know, like whatever the trend and stuff like that there, and just like that.
Influence.
There's a guy, Pete, from White Noise in Belfast, and he had left maybe about 10 years ago, went over to LA, and he's been doing all his recent music videos actually for the last maybe like 3 music videos he's done for them, and it's him posting stuff up. Fantastic work actually, but I've always actually liked his music and always thought he's a really cool guy. Watching like recently, he seems to have been getting a lot more into advertising than I've ever seen, really like Just Eat and things like that, and it's almost like he's going, I'm going to cash out here, but a very tech savvy guy, and he's very good at actually finding like people
niche. We did the one with, was it Bic Lighters, and it was him and Martha Stewart. So obviously she's, you know, all about home candles and cooking and stuff, and then he was obviously about smoke. So it was like multi-purpose, and it was the two of them photographed together.
So clever,
very clever,
so clever.
That's class.
So Jack, go ahead.
The next one is a car one. You need to read it.
Yeah, I've seen this actually. It's fantastic.
That's it. It was so clever.
I've seen the extended version of that where it's like it's really hammering home all the different safety features, and then it's building the reveal up of their logo at the end of it. It's very, very well done.
The first time I seen it, I was like, what are they doing?
I actually thought it was handcuffs for a second. I didn't take it. Until I read Audi, I actually thought it was like because I could see it was about safety, and I thought it was possibly one of these safety like speed awareness ones, and you could end up in jail. No, that was my original thought.
This looks like
a quick. I didn't notice the Audi logo.
It's a TV ad repurposed into a TikTok, and obviously the attention span's so much quicker, so they've reduced probably what's a 30-second TVC down into something really tight.
10 to get more views.
Is it 10 seconds then?
It's probably less.
It actually looks like 7 seconds or so. What is it?
To get more views.
9. So
was it Audi actually did it themselves?
Yeah. Well, what they're doing is they're showcasing each of the safety features in every other type of car, and they're subtly saying, but it's all in our car. So
it's like for speed. It was like BMW for comfort. This one, and then everything else.
So there's nothing negative about it.
It's very clever, but it had to be explained to me.
Yeah,
and I can see it, I can see it very clever, but I didn't catch it straight away.
Maybe it was
well, for me, actually, that's a good talking point. A lot of ads, whenever they're done well, they have a long form version of it, maybe a 30-second run, and then they have a 10-second cut down, abridged version. And any good marketing campaign, I think, should always have that longer form that you can watch it, and then you reinforce it over the next couple of weeks with shorter ads or even billboard campaigns and things like that. So they were really cool. I actually enjoyed going through those and seeing everybody's kind of variations of.